Hey everyone. There's nothing worse than being a parent of a sick child and not knowing what to do. And I feel really, really fortunate that we have Dr. Megs, who is a general paediatrician, and she writes for Dr. Megs Peds and Feeds as part of our Parent TV team. So Megs, can you tell me what got you into being a paediatrician to begin with?
Well, it probably goes back as far as, I think, primary school or even high school. I think I was around 11 or 12 years old and I just decided that medicine was what I wanted to do. It seemed like the natural thing to do. I loved science and I was reasonably good at it. And then as I got older, it just evolved into something that made sense. I loved kids and I went through my university career, studied pharmacy and then medicine. And when it came time to choose my specialty, it almost chose me rather than the other way around because my personality really suits the job. So before I had my own kids, it was an awesome way to play with other people's kids, like whilst I was getting paid to do it. So it was pretty cool.
Yeah, and how long have you been doing it for?
I've been qualified as a specialist paediatrician since 2014. So this is, 3 or 4 years? But I've actually been working exclusively in paediatrics since 2007. So I've been training to be a specialist paediatrician since then.
For a while, yeah. So you were saying before that you've got a few kids.
Mm-hmm.
So when have you failed to take your own advice as a paediatrician and a mum?
OMG, all the time.
I think it's really important, because we're all
totally.
human. We're all human.
Absolutely, very human.
Yes, me too. Very human.
So, look, there are heaps of different times that I failed to take my own advice. And I say this to the parents that come and see me in clinic all the time. I say, look, ideally, this is what you should do, but we're all human. And I do the things that I shouldn't be doing all the time, and I can hear myself doing it. I hate myself for it, but I can't stop myself in the moment. So I guess a good example would be my littlest one. He's 2. He's a terrible eater. Terrible eater. He was failure to thrive, so he lost weight when he was quite little. And so I do anything I can to get him to eat. Doesn't matter what it is. So I let him wander around when he's eating his food. And I was always, we're going to sit together as a family. We're going to eat dinner together as a family. Families that eat together stay together. But no, not Nicholas, my youngest one. He will wander around the house and I'll follow him around with his bowl just to make sure that he eats his food. And he's a real shocker. Anyone who knows me knows that I love to cook. That's my passion outside of work. And I love cooking really traditional foods. And one of my favourite dishes is Hainanese chicken rice. My family loves it, with the exception of Nicholas on a bad day. So I had spent like an entire day cooking this chicken rice where you make the stock from scratch and then you use the stock to cook the rice. Anyway, so we all sit down to this lovely meal. Nicholas, of course, he says, don't want it, I'm like, come on, Nikki, come on, little bit, no, So I think by that stage I was just so exhausted. I just gave him what he wanted, which was buttered pieces of white bread. So for dinner he had 3 pieces of white bread with butter on it, whereas the rest of us ate Hainanese chicken rice.
Yep.
What do you do?
And what do you love about what you do the most?
Look, there are heaps of things that I love about what I do, otherwise I wouldn't do it. I love the teams that I work with. I work in multiple different practices and the people I work with are fabulous. But I think most about the actual work that I do, the fact that I get to know kids over a long period of time. I often treat multiple siblings from the same family and I get to build a really nice relationship with those families over many years. I can see their kids grow up, and I think the thing that makes me the most proud and the most happy is being able to support those families and those kids to be able to see those children succeed. Yeah. They come with these issues and these problems, and often it's totally catastrophic. And by the time they leave, these kids are really successful, they're reaching their potential, and that does a lot for me, as well as I think for the family. So.
Yeah, that's great. So if you're struggling with any kind of health issues that you think a paediatrician might be able to help you out with, make sure you come and check out some of Dr. Meg's content here on Parent TV because she's got some really, really great tips and advice for parents out there.